Hello, everyone. I'm not Sherlock Holmes. I'm Sherlock Homeboy. Anyway, for most of you, this is the first time adding a face to some of the work you've seen around the city if you live in the DC metropolitan area. So I'm going to share a few of the images, and feel free to clap or woo if any of these are in your vicinity. Ben's Chili Bowl, all right. George Washington, 15th and U, awesome. This is on Florida and U. No wolves, come on, somebody listen. Marvin Gaye on 7th and S. Shop Small in Adams Morgan. That's my neighborhood, so woo, yeah. Shop Small, and this one is in Eastern Market. And this is on 7th and S, the new Marvin Gaye mural. Of course, there's this one in Eastern Market. I'm going to share a little bit of my background. So, I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm dedicated and I'm passionate about what I do. And I believe that passion is the ammunition for rebellion. So for example, my parents were very passionate about education, and my dad was exceptionally passionate about education. In his time, when he was growing up in Nigeria, in our culture, it wasn't quite a priority to go for the Western education. People saw things like being a farmer or a merchant more as a priority. So for in light of his passion for education, he would go to school against his parents' will and end up getting punished for it. So he would have to hide his books in the bushes, so in the morning when his siblings were going to school, he would make a detour. Going to the farm, he would make a detour to school and come home and face punishment. But in the course of him doing this, because he had so much passion for education, he was able to later on achieve a Bachelor of Science degree in French and business, economics. He was able to achieve a doctoral degree of law, and to compound all of this, he was also able to achieve the chieftaincy title of Mbisa, which is in Ibibio culture, one of the highest ranking chieftaincy titles, from the same system that he was going against. Now, this is my family when we were growing up here in the United States of America. That's me in the corner with a bow tie the size of a 747 jet. So while my parents were pursuing their education here in the United States, they started unknowingly. They fueled what became my passion, or what is now my career, by pushing tons of coloring books to us. So we would color and draw all the time. Problem was, I never stopped drawing. This is my first exposure to color, perspective, coloring books, superheroes, imagination. And so, it was a good way to pass time. So once we moved back to Nigeria, my parents thought, okay, so we're back home, and it's time, well, for lack of a better way to put it, things got real. So it was, okay, put away your little coloring books and let's pick up the textbooks. Problem, I couldn't stop drawing. So, for most people, for most parents, it's like, oh, my kid is talented. Oh, he has a skill set. He has something that is going on. They would push that. So my parents couldn't see that me not being able to stop drawing, was kind of like they started it. It wasn't like it's something I picked up. It chose me. And when I was going through high school, it really became a huge problem because, you see, a lot of kids, they went to school to study math, science, English, and all the other awesome subjects. I went to school to draw diagrams. For example, in biology class, this is the picture of a skull, the names, and the titles. When in this class, this is what I was doing. It's a skull, it's the same thing. And then sometimes, just for fun, I'll do that. Now, as a parent, you look into your kid's biology notebook, and as educated parents, as my parents were, I don't think Ghost Rider was a part of the biological diagram. So this is where it became a problem. So my mom would hide or seize or rip up some of these things because she didn't want to encourage it. And upon cleaning the house one day, found out where she was hiding them, and I did what any smart kid would do. I started hiding my drawings in her room. So that way, when she looked, she would think she put them there. And I knew I know exactly where to find them. So this continued. Now, as if this wasn't a problem enough, something happened. There was this thing called hip-hop culture. And hip-hop culture, to me, is a very rebellious culture, And I was getting all kinds of professional advice from Public Enemy, NWA, KRS-One, Ice-T. And the thing about this era is a pivotal point in my life because that's when I saw this album cover by an artist named Matt Du. And I realized the light bulb went off, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to go to America, and that's what I want to do. I want to become a professional illustrator. So I started writing my aunt, who was then living here, letters, and eventually she sent me a ticket. And I packed up my tools, my pencils, my crayons. I was ready. I was like, yeah, going to America, start an illustration career. Yes. And I came to America and jumped right into the illustrious world of illustration right here. Burger King. Okay, why am I in here? Why? I never stopped drawing, though. So I kept going. And people said, yeah, this is America, the land of opportunity. I said, yeah, sure. And they said, just don't give up your dreams. I didn't. I kept drawing in these times. And I landed a job here. Security. What? Well, as you can see, I was very passionate about this job. But the thing about this job is it gave me time to really work, do a lot of work. And I was able to go up to New York and show my portfolio, and eventually it landed me a job with XXL Magazine, which is a hip-hop culture magazine. And during this time, I worked for them about 5 years. And over the course of time, my work grew because I never stopped drawing. So I'm going to show you through a timeline. This is Lauryn Hill from 93. Now notice the progression. 93, 99, 2003, 2013. So you see the work growing. Right now, I'm currently working on a series called Reloaded. And it's still based on this rebellion. I don't know if I'm rebelling against myself or a certain system, but Reloaded is part of where you see some of these pieces with the pencils in it, and the pencil is such a rebellious tool because you can break a pencil, but once you sharpen either end, it keeps working again, So the pencil also has an eraser, which allows you to make mistakes, and it gives you confidence. So that's why I use this pencil in every piece of this series. And I also have, from this Reloaded series, I spawned another series called Return of the Shaolin Pencil. And some of you might know about this. And that's basically what this series is about. So as you see, my parents, my dad might have not understood my journey or my passion for drawing. But you see, me and him, we were kind of like the same. We just had different disciplines. His passion was for education. My passion was for drawing, And this drawing is, you know, it's just something I did, and I never saw myself as a rebel, but just again, the passion for what I do makes me want to stop at nothing just to get it done. And that's why basically I feel like passion was my ammunition for rebellion. Thank you.